thought Craigslist would be a great place for used furniture.
Comment real fast, real quick, the type of food that you no longer cluck with anymore. Like for me, it's it happened a couple years ago with my girl at the time. She made some Hispanic food, and I don't remember what the exact name of it was, but she made it. It was hella spicy, and the next day, I lied to you not, I was farting my ass off. Every 2 seconds, I was farting. I was on the toilet all day. So comment below what food you no longer cluck with anymore, because it made you it made you shit, it made you fart, it made you be on the toilet for hours, days, weeks on end. Weeks, not weeks. If you was on the toilet for weeks, you might as well say, "Hey, what's up, God?" Whether it's burgers for you, pizza for you, Brussels sprouts, I don't know. Pig's feet, I hate pig's feet. I hate pig's feet. I tried it one time. I didn't even want to try it, but I said, maybe I'll like it. Nope. Maybe it's black eyed peas. Maybe it's toaster strudel. Maybe it's waffles, pancakes. I don't know. Maybe it's banana pudding. Banana pudding is my favorite dessert ever. I'm getting off a topic. Sup, though. Oh, that's weird. I thought he was going to say it instead. I didn't know he was going to type it.
It was the summer of 2012.
Right.
I have a late birthday, so I was still 15 when all my friends were 16.
Right.
They all had jobs for the summer, but nobody would hire me because I was only 15. I started looking for off-the-books jobs on Craigslist. I found an ad titled, "Looking for House Cleaning Services, Paying $10 an Hour."
What the fuck? I mean, what the cluck? Yo, sometimes I be so involved with the stories that, some of y'all notice that I keep forgetting, not keep forgetting, but sometimes I forget that I'm recording. But it's like, you 15 and you searching on a website, on a very sus website, talking about you want a job. Like, you 15. Do some house chores. Cut the lawn. Cut the grass outside. Trim the hedges. Clean out the gutters. Dust something. I don't know. Take out the trash. Clean the bathroom. Vacuum something. Wash some dishes on them. Something. You 15. I mean, I understand that, there are some places in this world, not just America, that, you can start working at 15 or probably like younger than that professionally. I don't know, but I know when I was growing up, I ain't had no job at 15. I ain't had no job at 16. I had no job at... I think I had a job. My first job I was 18. But I definitely didn't have no job at not no 15. My job at 15 was house chores. I was cleaning every weekend. Yeah, And if I was lucky, no, I didn't do that. My man's he like, to get some extra money, he like cut people's grass, mow the lawn, for other people's houses and stuff. I don't know about that. That seems a little sus, but just saying, you 15, stay in the house.
The ad had two pictures of the house, one outside and one inside.
Right.
It was a typical middle-class house. He lived in the next town over. The only way to contact him was by email, so I emailed him telling him I was only 15 years old and was willing to clean his house for $10 an hour.
Wait a minute. Oh, bet $10 an hour? I'm finessing. I'm taking my sweet ass time. $10 an hour. You got me clucked up. I'm gonna be at your house for 15 hours a day. I'm finessing. $10 an hour. You got me clucked up. Oh my god, I'm finessing the hell out of that. But look, on a serious note, you're 15. You're on the internet. You typing. You emailing this random stranger. Where your parents at? Where's your big brother at? Your big sister? Somebody needs to be watching. You 15 on the internet. I don't think that's such a good idea. Just saying. Without like some parental guidance or somebody watching your back, because you can easily drift off on the internet. I've done it before. Wasn't pretty. You know. Just saying. It's a lot of cluck ups right now. We barely started this video. Okay.
He responded in 10 minutes, telling me his work schedule and when he would need me to be available.
Wow, 10 minutes.
I told him that was okay, and then he asked me if I had means of transportation to get there every day.
Yes, I do.
I didn't even realize that my mom wouldn't be able to drive me every day. Oddly, he offered to give me a lift to and from every single day.
Sus!
He said he worked close, so coming home to give me a ride wouldn't be a problem.
Sus!
I agreed without even asking my mom. So the man asked for my address. I gave it to him.
Wow.
He said he would be over at 8:30 a.m. on Monday to pick me up.
Wow.
Come Monday, I met him outside. He drove a black 05 Nissan Maxima. He himself had a black beard and a Mets hat on. He didn't seem dressed ready to go to work.
Don't you know? You see a person, male or female, with a Mets hat on. You walk the other direction. You go the other direction. You can't trust nobody with a Mets. I'm lying. Don't take that seriously.
But I didn't think much about that. He introduced himself as James and then dropped me off and gave me the key.
Okay, so
he told me to just straighten everything out and such.
Okay, so that's another. I keep pausing. I'm so sorry, but that's another name to add to the list. You know, what you got? What you got? You got Craig. You got Bob. Right. You got. Oh, was James already in the 4? And who else? You got Adam. Was that it? Craig? Like my original 4 that I said in a couple of videos back. Was it Craig? It was Craig, Adam, Bob. Was it James? I want to say James. If it wasn't James, James is now added to the list. So I'm gonna keep adding more people. You know, I'm going to be adding more and more people to the list of sus people. Sus. Yeah. Right now we're going for 4. I don't think I don't know. Comment below what my original 4 names was. Because I know I said it in a couple of videos back. But I don't know if James was in that original 4. If he wasn't, then we have a top 5. But if he's not, we top 4.
Then he drove off in a hurry. I found it really weird that he trusted me, a 15-year-old he had never met, to be in his house alone.
That's, wow.
His house wasn't even too messy.
Wow.
All I did was just fold some clothes, wash some dishes, and used a hand vacuum to clean some of the carpets.
Are you serious right now?
The only problem, it was extremely hot in the house, even hotter than outside.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for stopping so much. But it's like, as many horror videos that I've watched, as many sus videos as I've watched over the years, you're able to pick up things even before they actually happen. The kid said that it was hot, more hot than what it was outside. Come on. Do you see where I'm going with that? Do you see where this is going? It's hot. It's he's 15, a kid. That guy is probably a molester or whatever, child, whatever, right? And he's 15. It's hot as hell outside, but it's even more hotter inside, so naturally you're gonna take off your clothes. Or like get a fan or something. But I'm thinking because he's a kid and he's already done so much clucked up shit, right? He might as well just. I mean, that's what he wanted. That's what he want the kid to do. It's hot as hell outside, but it's even hotter inside. So I guess hopefully when he come back, the kid is butt ass naked. Like, come on. I'm hoping that he doesn't take off his clothes, but it kind of looks like that. And it kind of just drink some ice water, or turn on, like take a nice cold bath. No, not no bath. Find some other way to cool yourself off. Please don't take off any clothing.
It seemed all the windows were sealed shut, and I didn't want to turn on the AC without permission.
Boy.
This went on for 6 hours before he came back, handed me $60, and dropped me off back home. He seemed extremely nice, and I felt I had lucked out finding that ad. This went on for a good 2 weeks, and my mom was okay with it since James was actually paying me. Then, one Friday night, I woke up feeling really thirsty, so I got up to get some water. I looked out my window, and I saw somebody standing there looking into my room. I screamed, and my parents came running over, but the person outside took off before they got there. The next time I went in, it was at least 100 degrees outside. I asked James if I could turn on the AC, but he said it was broken. He told me to just take off my clothes if I got hot. I laughed, thinking he was joking, but he was serious. I felt really uncomfortable after that. He dropped me off, and I did the same work that I had been doing. It was at least 105 degrees in the house. I had to work shirtless and constantly go outside where it was just a little cooler. The day dragged on, but I just barely made it through. The next day, on the way to his house, James told me that he had the day off from work. He told me he would just help me out. I was not happy to hear this. I would rather just be alone in the house. He seemed to slowly follow me into whatever room I went to clean. I eventually had to go to the bathroom, so I ran upstairs and made sure he wasn't following me. But in the bathroom, I made a shocking discovery. Up in the corner of the room, I found a small camera pointing from out of the wall, just barely visible. I scanned the room for more, and sure enough, there was one in the bottom corner as well. I started searching the whole bathroom for more cameras. I checked under the sink, but what I found was much worse. There were 2 huge stacks of VHS tapes, each one with a sticky note attached with someone's name on it. The one on the top was my name. I almost threw up then and there. I had to find a way to get home safely. James then knocked on the door, asking if I was alright. I said I wasn't feeling good, and asked if he could drive me home. He said okay. I stepped outside, and he told me he had to go as well, so he stepped in.
Get your hands off me. Get your mother clucking. Don't touch me, bitch. Don't touch me. No. That's okay. You don't gotta take me home. Nope, I'm good. I'm just gonna haul us back to the house. That's it. And that's the end of this. Whatever this is. That's the end of whatever we got going on. Or what you thought we had going on. Because shit is done. It's finished. It's quashed. It's done. I really hope none of y'all are like this kid. I really hope a lot of you all are able to notice and sense red flags. And I hope a lot of you all are able to, when you notice the red flags, do something about it. Not notice the red flags, but then don't do nothing about it. And hopefully I've taught y'all well, but there's no way of knowing. Because obviously nobody taught this kid anything about red flags, sensing the red flags, and what to do, the do's and not, the do and the do not, yeah, of when you notice a red flag. Nobody did tell him this. His mom sure as hell didn't. Hell, his mom can be in cahoots with the stranger. That's what the hell it seems like. Because it went on for 2 weeks. 2 long weeks. 2 long ass, creepy ass, mother clucking weeks.
Bathroom. For the first half of the car ride, he didn't say anything to me, and the road he was taking me on wasn't familiar.
Oh my god.
In fact, I noticed that the direction we were heading in was the complete opposite of my house.
Wow.
Where are we going? I asked.
You better
He
yeet.
looked at me and said, "What were you doing in the bathroom?"
You better yeet.
I started to panic. I didn't answer.
Get out
So
there.
he asked again, in a much angrier voice. We were stopped at a traffic light, so I took that opportunity to unlock the door and escape the car.
This is what you should have did. Because you're 15. But when I was 15, I had like some muscle, but not really. Right? But like you're a kid, so it's like you don't have that. You don't have that much muscle. Right? But I don't know. You could have just did this. Like cut his air supply off or something. Like damage one of his air pipes or something. I don't know. You could have did something to get out of that car. You could have did this to him. That shit hurts. Or you could have did like a yeet right outside the window out of the You could have hit him really hard in the nuts. But not that. Hold on, because he seems like a pedophile. He'll probably like that shit. You could have did something. God.
I ran away from sight before calling my mom, crying into the phone, telling her to pick me up. She came over as soon as possible. She immediately reported James, and the police found the tapes under her sink.
Did she?
Some of the tapes contained much worse things than kids just cleaning the house.
Wow.
The scariest thing, some of the kids seen in the tapes are still missing to this day.
Oh my God.
He was arrested and tried for child pornography, kidnapping, and some other charges. I'm happy I jumped out of that car, because I don't know where he was taking me.
Is he still locked up though? Huh? That's a real question. Is he still locked up? Because if he not, you better run. You better haul ass like mother clucker.
This happened about 3 months ago.
Right.
Me and my roommate decided on getting a used couch, so I thought Craigslist would be a great place for used furniture.
A used couch. From someone that you probably don't know. So you don't know what the hell is on that couch. And just because you can't see it with the naked eye, don't mean there's nothing on that couch. Especially because you get it from Craigslist. And just because you can't see it with your own eyeballs, get a mother clucking black light and scan that bitch. Or get an Adidas light. Oh man. Ain't no telling what you gonna see.
I scrolled through about 3 pages before finding a black leather couch. It was in really good condition, and it had a really good price, around $200. I told myself this was too good to be true, and man, I should have listened to myself.
Yeah.
We arranged a price, and the guy told me to meet him at his place over email.
No.
My roommate was out working overtime, so I had to go alone.
No, fuck.
The address was a little ways out of town. The house was surrounded by trees. You had to go through the drive-thru to be able to see it. I got out of my car and knocked on the door. This house was different. It was small and wooden, and it looked pretty eerie. When I knocked the 3rd time, I heard creaks on the wood floor coming from inside. Anyone could tell it was footsteps, but it sounded like they were tiptoeing. Then I heard a faint, muffled voice through the door. "Hey, are you the couch guy?"
Oh my god.
But they sounded pretty rushed. So I responded, yes I am. He said back, "Okay, come around back, the couch is there." I felt a little weirded out by it, but I brushed it off.
Make sure I'm not like in a TV show or something. Like, this shit can't be real. I feel like some of these stories are made up. That's all I'm saying. I feel like some of them. Because some of these, it's like, nobody would. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just. Woo! Okay. Yawning in front of their face. I'm sorry about that. But maybe that's just me because I don't take no bullshit. So it's hard to believe when people find themselves in a collective situation and they notice they're in a collective situation, but they still move forward. They're like they don't be like. See, it's see, because in my eyes, right, in my beautiful ass eyes, right, if I notice that I'm in a situation, or if I notice I'm in a collective situation, or about to be in a collective situation, I would stop what I'm doing and haul ass like mother clucking with my Adidas. But you have people like this that notice they're about to be in a collective situation, and their gut will literally say, "Hey, bruh, don't do this." But you're like, you're not listening to your gut, to yourself, and you're like, I'ma still go forward. So I mean, you would think people nowadays, because of with everything that's going on in this world, you would think that people, their common sense, their red flag senses, will be heightened the hell up. But no. It's going down at a rapid pace. You're doing all right? You sure? Because they not.
When I came around back, I saw something that I won't forget.
Right.
I saw 4 tall men dressed in black robes with their hands together.
See?
And in front of them was a pit with a hatch and chain on it.
See?
Then I heard the same voice say, "Where's your friend?" I booked it out of there and frantically shoved the key in my car and started it. I looked out the mirror and saw the front door fly open. I shifted into first and floored it out of there. The thing that makes me uneasy to this day is that in the emails, I never told him I had a roommate.
You should have shifted that shit into second and then floored it. I know how the stick shift works.
I was about 12 years old. I was looking for some craft storage since I got a lot for Christmas.
Craft or
The
craft?
ones at the stores were really pricey, so me and my 27-year-old sister looked for some on Craigslist.
That was a very specific. Why'd you say that
We found
age?
someone offering a huge tote for only $10. That would mean getting a $90 discount, so we checked it out. The person lived relatively close to us, so we gave the guy our email. He emailed us within an hour and asked where we should meet. I said we should meet at Dollar Tree since it was a short walk away. He, to my surprise, asked to meet at my home. I lived in an apartment, so that would be inconvenient, so I said that we lived farther away.
I'm not.
He said he could drive, but we said no. So we eventually said it was okay to meet at Dollar Tree, but he could only meet up at 9 p.m.
Wow.
I said that's okay, even though it would be dark by then. He said to meet up today. My sister worked the night shift tonight, so she said I could walk there and back and to just bring my wagon so I could just put the tote in it.
Oh my god.
She gave me $10 and I started walking at 8:30. I arrived just on time and I saw an old knocked up 06 Kia. I assumed it was him, so I yelled, "Hey, got the tote?" He got out of his car and said he left it at home. He asked if I wanted to take a drive with him to his house.
No. No. We not. No. See? I was trying my best not to pause. But no. I'm staying my ass right here. You can go ahead and drive and get it and come right back. Just that simple. Why do I have to go anywhere with you? Huh? Why would you even ask that? You're tripping. You sus ass mother clucker. I'ma stay right here and you can go ahead and drive and get it and come right back. Cause I'll still be right here, I think. Regardless of, it all depends on how long you take. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be inside. Was it Dollar Tree? Dollar General? Something like that. I'm gonna be inside the dollar store. So, I'm not about to be out here by myself. So, yeah.
I said I can't because it wasn't okay with my family.
Right.
He said he would drive me home, and
No.
I firmly said no.
Right.
He said if I came with him that I could get the tote for free.
Wow.
I got a very uneasy feeling. He said, "Hey, your address is 234 Letter Road, right?"
Nope.
My heart dropped into my stomach. I got freaked out and ran all the way home. I got home and ran upstairs like a demon was chasing me. I got in my room and locked all the doors and windows. I also covered them with black clothing and such. That night I was shaking like crazy. And then I heard a hefty man coming up the stairs. Almost no one on my floor was up this late.
So we not locking.
No hefty man lived there.
We not locking doors. We
I
not.
heard a voice and I almost fainted.
We not locking no doors.
"Hey, you still want that tote? It's down in my car. Come help me get it." I almost puked and fainted. I looked through the peephole to see the man's back facing my door. I watched him turn around, and I covered the peephole with a black shirt I had laying around from before. The doorknob started to wiggle. I went under the sink cabinet and was silent as a worm. He started to try to kick the door down, and eventually he did. I felt like I was ready to die. I grabbed an old broom that was sitting in the cabinet. The kicking down of the door woke up my neighbors, who came running in with a baseball bat. My neighbor whacked the guy in the face with the bat, and the guy fell to the floor.
Yeet.
I got out with the broom and gave the man a wimpy whack before he stood up and tried to grab me. I physically jumped down the stairs and ran down the street to my sister's work like I was going to die, and I thought I was. I ran to the nurse's station and started to have a breakdown. I was crying and almost throwing up, and the nurses looked at me like I was just raped or something. I told them that a man was following me and was going to kill me.
I might as well be
They got
happy.
my sister and called the police. It turned out he was a serial rapist.
Wow.
Me and my sister moved, and she went away to college.
Where does the name cereal even come from? Does that have anything to eat? Like, hold on, pause before you go to the next video. Where did the name serial killer come from? Or like a serial? I never even heard of a serial rapist. That's new. But where does that word even come from? Like serial killer? Like cereal. Where did that even come from? Because I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which is the best cereal, hands down. And we can have an argument. We can have it. We can talk if we think otherwise. Right? We can talk in the comment section. But on the serious note, like, where does it have anything to do with cereal? Like, why would you even say that? That doesn't sound right. A serial killer, like a serial rapist. Like, were you eating cereal as you was committing those crimes? Like, where did cereal come from? I mean, did you have like a bowl of milk with what? I'm gonna try my best not to pause in this last
When you
one.
decide to use Craigslist, make sure you deal local, and if something seems too good to be true, it usually is.
Is this the last?
I was 20 years old, still driving my grandpa's old Buick that he handed down, and I hated it. I wanted to drive something cooler and something more age-appropriate. Well, I was making decent money, and I wanted to buy a Mustang, so I started searching Craigslist. And within a week, I found something that seemed unbelievable.
It probably
A 2013 blue Mustang GT convertible, manual transmission, no accident history, with only 32,000 miles, and the shockingly low price of $16,000. I saw the ad was just posted 4 minutes ago, so I knew I had to act fast. I called the number listed, but it just went to voicemail. I called again, and this time on the 4th ring, a man picked up the phone. I told him I was interested in the car, and he started laughing and joking about how he had just listed it a few minutes ago. He honestly sounded almost too normal and friendly. He gave me his address, and I told him I'll be over at 6 to check it out. After hanging up and realizing this guy sounded normal, I was just so excited to think that I had just found such a good deal. I GPS'd the location. It was a long drive, about an hour. It took me far away from the suburbs that I was used to. The GPS said 2 minutes remaining in the drive, and I was kind of confused. The area I was in was very rural and poor. I pulled up to what the GPS said was the house. It was a shitty, run-down old thing. I noticed there was no Mustang anywhere in sight. I felt uncomfortable with even getting out of the car.
Then
In fact, I just sat there looking at the house for a good 5 minutes, trying to decide if I should even go and knock on the door.
Don't.
An hour isn't by any means a short drive, but when something seems as sketchy as this seemed, you would understand.
That you need to get the hell out of there.
I saw the blinds from the window begin to shake, and then the front door opened, and a man, probably in his 50s, came outside. He gave me a wave and a smile. He actually looked somewhat normal. I turned the car off and went out to greet him. I asked him where the car was, and he said it was in the garage. He told me to follow him back inside. I didn't know why he was leading me into his house instead of the garage, but I went anyway.
Oh my God.
He made sure to shut the door behind me, even though I was going to myself. I was able to get a good look of his house, and I must say, it smelled disgusting, and it didn't have much, if any, furniture. He led me down a small flight of stairs and to a door. I heard some noises coming from beyond the door. The man just explained that it was his friend working on the car. That seemed weird. I also began to hear creaking coming from upstairs, as if someone was walking around. He looked up and said that must be his wife. I found it weird that he had to explain these noises. I wouldn't have thought it was weird otherwise. He finally opened the door, and I got a quick glimpse of his garage. It was completely empty.
Mm.
I took a look at the man, and as he stared back at me, I knew it was time to go. I didn't say anything. I just turned around and ran for the door, but somebody was standing there blocking it.
Wow.
I offered to give them all the money in my wallet to let me go. And then the first guy walked into the room with some sharp metal tool in his hand. I don't know what it was called, but I fled from the room in the opposite direction of the front door, and thankfully found the back door. I fled into the backyard and went around the house to my car. I made it inside and started the engine. I stared at the house one more time. Nobody followed me. I saw the front door open again, and the two men from inside stood behind the storm door and just seemed to stare me down. I gave them the finger and drove off halfway down the road before calling the cops. I stayed nearby until I saw the cops pull up to the house. The two men, or however many people were in that house, were gone. Nobody had actually lived in that house for years. I went home feeling angry and disturbed, but also grateful that I escaped with my life. That night, I got a phone call from an unknown number at like 2 in the morning. I didn't answer, and they didn't leave a voicemail. 10 seconds later, I got a text from the same number saying, "Look outside your window."
No, I'm good. I'm not.
I had my blinds down and feared what might be on the other side, but I had a pretty good feeling. I called the cops yet again, letting the person outside know that I was as well. They arrived in a surprising 3 minutes and began to search the whole premises. They found him hiding in my bush outside my window. He was arrested. His name is Tony Schelling. He was, in fact, the same person I met at the house. My message to all is to not be an idiot while using websites like Craigslist.
Yeah, my message to all is to haul ass like a mother clucker. I know Craigslist is like a good place to look for things and have like good deals. But it's like every now and then it's like, why even make this account? I mean, why even make this website? Like, I mean, but then again, I guess that's like for any website, you know. No matter where you go, no matter where you look, there's always creeps, always weirdos, always, especially on YouTube. But I mean, I guess you can't really do. I mean, you can do something about it, but it's like they're there. I guess you can just try your best to avoid them. But it's like, fuck. Just, man. We're gonna meet up with somebody. Please don't do it alone. And always listen to your gut. Listen and watch out for red flags. Get your senses up. Right. I can prescribe you with some pills, some Gattor pills. I got you. Just hashtag Gattor pills. I need them. You know. It's just, it breaks my heart that, you know, I notice I hear these stories and it's like, it could have all been avoided if you didn't do this, or if you didn't say this. I try my best to try to help people out, but it's like, I can only do so much. This video is almost 40 minutes. Wow. You know, it is what it is. People are gonna do whatever they want. I can only advise, and that's that. So it is what it is. Right. Craig. You slick son of a... Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy. My family.